We have some principles that underpin our Minster Community process, and we try to hold ourselves to these as to work within them as we discern our future together. God is always a part of this conversation, and we need to pay attention to God. We are working within the wedge with boundaries around finance, ministry and buildings, alongside those of everyday faith, diocesan priorities and being Anglican. There is a separate video about the wedge. Minster communities will consist of churches that are geographically contiguous. This is about sharing in mission. We start with mission and community, and as we form our Minster communities, we work out the roles we need to support the community in mission. This will take time, and we will sit with the process. In all of our group meetings, you are not making decisions. We are working towards provisional proposals that would ultimately always be sent to the parish church councils and go through the joint Archdeacon Mission Committee and Bishop's Council. There will be Minster communities across the diocese. And if a church opts out of the process, the Minster communities will form without them. There would then be a need to have a conversation between that church and diocesan leadership about what level of resourcing and support can be provided. This process of forming a Minster community will happen if representatives from all churches are there or not. There will always be a seat available at the table. Opting out of the meeting does not mean special treatment. Well, the Minster community will form around you, and you will have missed the opportunity to shape it as it forms. This is a creative process, but we are not working from scratch. When we gather, there will always be missing voices, some by choice and some by neglect. But we will need to work hard at listening, hearing and integrating the voices of the child, the younger person, the school, the community, the transient and our associated institutions, such as hospitals, prisons and universities within the area. Because of resources, the number of Minster communities in each area is set. There cannot be more, but if there is a good reason, it could be less. Minster communities will have to work within their available resources, and we need to value what is working well in team working. We can be creative and do not need to be constrained by the current boundaries or groupings. The work of forming is not done exclusively at meetings altogether. They will always be stuff for representatives to take back to their churches and to work on together.